Hey guys, RC here. Just going to do a quick little, well, it'll be a regular length video, but it's an update video on a new game. Well, it's an old game, but it's new to me that I found last night. I was watching another video series and they mentioned this game, so I said, "Oh, well, let me go check it out." Well, this game it's a very small independent company. It looks like just a two-person shop. Uh, I don't know if they're husband and wife or brothers, or I don't know what where the relationship is, but it looks like a little family outfit. This was released in 2013, but there were some recent updates, and I guess they've ported it over to for mobile phones or whatever. But it's called GameDevTycoon. So let's check it out. The reason I decided to do this was because I downloaded it last night, and it's tough. It's a tough game, but I have enjoyed the heck out of it. So we're going to actually start a new game, and you can read this if you want to. I'm not going to read everything, but basically you are a self-employed game developer starting back in the 1980s at the very dawn of the computer wars and computer development. And this game actually walks you through the genesis, no pun intended, of console development and everything else. So, if you're not especially younger people, you might not be fully aware of the lineage of gaming, and this kind of will give you a little history actually, so you'll actually learn something. Now, I guess there's licensing issues, so they don't use the names exactly, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out what they're talking about. But anyway, the reason I decided to do this was, I kind of started playing last night. I was hooked on it, and I've been playing all day today, and I'm getting my butt kicked. So, there's a few things that I've learned, a few tips that I can point out. But what I'd like to hear from you guys is what you think of the game if you've played it before, or what you think based on what you're seeing here if you've never even heard of the game like me. Because that happens. I mean, it's been out since 2013. I've never heard of the game. So I'm glad I found it. I'm glad I was able to buy it and support a small independent team. And I hope my $10 helps them. But based on what I'm seeing from my gameplay, $10, it's a great value. So, and they're not paying me. I actually spent my money on the game. So, but anyway, let's get into the game, kind of go through the walkthrough. And as I said, let me know in the comments if you've heard of the game or if you've played it. Let me know what you think about it. If you've never played the game or hadn't heard of it, let me know what you think about it based on what you're seeing here. And, we start off in our garage. So, here we go. Let's see. We're going to call this, we're just going to call it Garage Inc. after the Metallica album. And it'll be RC. That'll be me. Let's see if I can get some dark hair in here. I don't know if they had, no, because I'm not Asian. I could pretend to be Asian. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night, maybe. We'll go with the brown hair. And yeah, I'm old, but I'm not quite a sweater vest guy. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right. Anyway, once you've played it, you unlock hints. I'm going to go ahead, and then you have the option in future games, new games, when you're replaying it, to keep those hints or turn them off and reset the game completely. I'm going to keep them so you could kind of see it. And I am playing this one as a solo, and you can see I've played it. I've actually overwritten this one. I've added a couple of mods, and I'll show you what the mods do. There's really only one, but percentager. But there's three total. Only one that I know that actually does anything. But you can see I've played 6 saves starting last night. This was my second save here, so we're going to overwrite that one. And unfortunately, I can't rename it, I don't think. All right, well, we're going to get into it. Basically, you can see we're in our garage. We have the Pong board here, a DeLorean, so we're certainly 1980s. Some what I guess are programming books and a lot of discarded ideas. So we can click on us, and at the very beginning, there's only one option, and that's to develop a new game because that's what you have chosen to do for a living. So you start off with random 4 random topics, and these are all the topics that you can research over the life of the game. Now, the game ends when you go bankrupt, or when I don't know, honestly, I don't know if there's a way to win the game actually achieving anything, but maybe I'll find out one day. But I understand there's 5 levels, and I've died every time in level 2. So we'll play through it. Also, let me know if you want me to do a Let's Play of this, because this is just kind of walk through it real quick. But if you're enjoying it and if you'd like to see it, I may add this into my Let's Play repertoire. With the odd game mixed in, kind of like I'm doing with Planet Base and RimWorld. Well, anyway, let's go ahead. Fantasy is a genre that I like personally, and we have to kind of figure out which one of these genres that we would like, and everything ties together. So, you can do something that doesn't make sense and the game is going to bomb, but you could have a world event where these odd combinations crop up, and you can have a super hit because you thought outside the box. Those world events are completely random, and they're short in duration. So if you don't start the combination probably before the event will come and then go before your game is out. So I forgot what we were doing. Fantasy. So we're going to go RPG. And RPGs, I have learned, are good on either one. I'm going to go with this is the Commodore 64, actually the first computer I ever owned. So only reason I'm going there right now, we know that the PC will outlast that long term, but I also know they have a little bit bigger market share. And what are we going to call this? You make up your own names, and the names, to my knowledge, don't affect anything. Fantasy, comely wenches. There we go. I'm picturing, dwarven women and bustiers and, whatnot. All right. Then you choose your graphics, whatever you're starting with. So we're going to do that. The goal here, let me pause this for just a second, because time keeps ticking and it costs you so much money per month. So if we look up at the top, I wish I could move this, but I can't. But you have 4 circles up here. You have research points, and you use those to unlock new things. You have bugs, and of course, as people that, if you're watching this, first off, if you're watching my channel, you evidently like and play video games. So we know we don't like bugs as gamers. So all games have bugs in them. So before you release it, you have to squash the bugs or you have to release patches. So your decision. Then you have design and technology. These are based on your skills, and then as the game progresses and your business grows and you hire new developers to work with you, they can each have their own skill sets, and that will affect how many points develop here. And you kind of want a good balance is kind of what you're shooting for. At least that's my understanding. So, eventually, like right now, we may be lucky to get, 9 and 6 or, close to 10 points. As we develop our skill sets and then hire new people, I know in the second level that I've gotten to, I've gotten as many as 30 to 40 points in each column. So, it does advance. Now, the algorithm, I don't know what the algorithm is for the success rate of a game but it has to do with beating not only. It's not as easy as it sounds. You would think, okay, if I set my dials right and I make a good game with the right adjustments, it'll be good. Well, not necessarily, because you compete against your own high score. So right now there's a default because we haven't made a game. We're going to make this game, and that will set a new bar for us to attain. And if we come in under that, then we could have the right settings, and it could look on the surface to be a good game, but it could get a low score, like a 3 or a 4, by the reviewing groups, and it's going to bomb in the market. So, all right, so you have to this is something you have to kind of learn, but you can see we've got 3 pluses, 2 pluses, and 2 minuses. Basically, if you have pluses, and the reason I downloaded the one mod is this percentage. Before it did not have this. So this is a mod on Steam. And basically with 3, you want to push that all the way up. You want to be close to the top with 2. And then if it's a negative, you want that lower. And you want to try to get at least 40% on anything with pluses. And this, we could put this up here, but you see how we're only at 35. So we want to have over 40 for the plus columns, and the higher one, the better. Now, you won't see this on your game until you've done it. And then this happens in 3 phases. Well, yeah, 3 phases. So phase 1, now we're in development, and you can see I only know 1. All right. Now, RPGs, I'm gonna go with dialogues, and then level design. And then I know artificial intelligence. Now, it does not mean that there's always 2 positives. Sometimes, like adventure games, only have 1 in the first 2 levels. That's a positive. So, that's things that you'll learn. There is some cheat guides out there that kind of walk you through it. All right, so we know world design here is going to be very important. This one's going to be negative, so I'm going to assume that one's going to need to be at least 40%. And you see this little side window pop up. This is where you can turn on or off other things, and they cost money. So we're going to go ahead and create that. And you can see we're finishing. So we're going to have 15 points, 10 in technology. It's finished, but I was letting it squash the bugs. So as soon as the bugs hit 0, hit finish. While this is doing, you can click your left mouse key. It'll speed it up, and you can see we gain points. So I have gained 118 points in this level. Now, this is your character level. When I was saying the game has 5 levels, that's actually 5 game levels. So this is, working out of your garage on these small, like independent releases is level 1. And when you move into your first office, that's when it becomes level 2. All right, so we've released the game. We're no project. We've accumulated 16 research points. Right here, now we'll get our review. And again, if you left click, once it starts, it speeds this up. So, Star Game says we got a 6, a 7, a 7, and a 7. So, not bad for our first game. Now, what you want to do, well, and you'll get these little pop-ups on occasion. All right. You want to click anywhere on the screen, and you want to generate a game report. And you want to do this after every game you release. And you can see these question marks because we don't know the answers to that yet, but we want to select that, and we will do basically data analysis while it's on the market. Oh, so the first week we sold 4,700 units, and we're the number 27 selling game in the country or the world or whatever. All right, we picked up our first fans. All right, now, fans are important because these are people that are like loyal to your company, to your brand, and will, buy your games. So, we've made, 33,200 sales in dollars. But you want about 100,000 fans before you start moving from your independent to your medium level games. So it's a little, all this is stuff I had to read online. If you go to the Steam community, and I'll actually put the link in the video below that got me to the FAQs that kind of give you a lot of these tips that I've picked up, that have helped me a little bit. And I'm still trying. All right. So the analysis report that we just did kind of gives you some notes here. And these are what will show up and show, give you insight into the future. So 23 research points. Oh, a new sales record, over 10,000. All right. Now I want to click over here and I want to research. Now, custom game engine it's a custom game engine. This will help you really develop better games. Now, the key is, when do you do it? Well, the first one you kind of want to do as soon as you can, but then after that, you only want to do it at certain points. And they recommend, like, when you get new video graphics updates, but then you'll have other things that you'll have researched along the way. Point-wise, it's 50 research points, and it can cost upwards of $500,000 or more for an engine at higher levels. So, like in my last game that I went bankrupt in, I had just created a 500,000 plus, engine. So on this one, I'm going to leave this. I've got 3 other topics we have not released games for yet. So I'm going to try to build this up, because right now we're basically using, ASCII or something like that. Think Dwarf Fortress, real basic stuff. Once we get a custom game engine that we design for our games, then that will, it won't really have any bells and whistles, but it'll still take us to the next level. And at that time, we'll start researching. So I'm going to stay out of that. I am going to develop a new game while this is on the market. Now, here's a kicker. You don't want to pick the same combination within a year. If you do that, it will, they'll say, hey, he's, it's the same game. He's ripping us off. So let's do a comedy. And I'm going to say a comedy adventure. And adventures, I know, are really good here on the PC. We're just going to call it Smiles and Laughs. All right, same our same upgraded graphics that we know, and we'll start working on that while we have income coming in here. All right, so we know that's important. And gameplay is, all right, we'll go with that. Now, this is one, remember, I said adventure, I know, in the first 2 development stages, only one of them is important. So we're going to go this way. And you can see the little balls popping out as you work. Some go to design, some go to technology, some go to research when you learn something new, some go to bugs. So, all right. All right, we're going to go that route. And then certain combinations, will want to be heavier on design. Others will want to be heavier on technology. So, that's things you have to learn. All right, here's one where I already know that we have 2 positives, and we want all of our positives to be over 40%. So we'll go with that. All right, we've got 2 bugs. We can finish it now, but I'm going to go ahead and squash the bugs. Comely Winches, our first game, sold 23,000 units and made us $165,000 in profit. All right, now we can finish that. And there is no pause, so the clock's always ticking unless you hit the escape button, and that freezes it for a minute. So it's really just a constant, the game's constantly in motion, and it's very fast-paced. You can see we're already in July, the 3rd week of July of our first year. So, and we've got 90 fans. and you'll have various little things happen. You may find out someone has pirated your game, and what do you do? There's one, for example, where you find out that some of your fans have created like an offshoot of the game and did like some mods, and they're playing it, and they're not giving you any money for it. But the game's been out for a while, and, your lawyers want to sue them. How do you handle that? So you've got to make calls there. So just different things. So let's just kind of finish this one, and then I will end the episode. I am going to save it in case you want me to continue this as a Let's Play, but that's going to be up to you guys. Let me know what you think. It won't take the place of any of my primary games. It'll just be something that I mix in for some fun, but I'm enjoying the game on the side. All right, so industry news. All right. So we got a new record in design. And again, if you left click, it'll speed this whole process up. All right, so there's a release. I'm going to click. You kind of got to wait a minute. There we go. Now we can generate the game report. And while he's working, we'll get the reviews. And basically, it's a rinse and repeat at this point. So it's designing a new game, researching new, different, and we'll do that real quick. So let's kind of look at this. And we'll look at the things that you can research. All right, so here come our reviews. We got a 5 out of 10, a 7 out of 10. If we click on there, you see it speeds up a little bit. A 7 out of 10 and a 7 out of 10 overall. All right, so he's working on that. We've hit the market, and this goes week by week. So, all right, comedy and adventure is great. World design is important. If we go to research, so we can research a new topic, and that just gives you random, and these are always randomized, so they'll never be in the same order. So we can pick one of these four for 10 research points. So we could do all four of them for 40, and then we can move on. But I've only made 2 games, so I've got 2 more that I could do, and then I could always, we're in month 8, so in just a few months I could go back and say redo another fantasy game. You want to wait at least a year before you hit the same combination. Now, example, we did fantasy as an RPG, so that means we could do a fantasy action or a fantasy adventure, and that wouldn't take as bad a hit. I don't know if it would affect it very much, but, so we've got several options here that we could do. You could create the custom game engine, and then there will be other things that pop up in here that open up periodically, advances in the games. So like, instead of basic sound, we'll have mono sound, we'll have 2D graphics, and there's several levels of that. We'll eventually have 3D graphics. So, that's where you have to spend your research points. A lot of those other things cost research points and money, so you have to watch that. And then once you reach $1 million, it gives you the option to move to level 2, and then it gets, then you can hire employees. And like I said, I've gone bankrupt every time at that level, so I've spent much of the last hour finding some tips that I'm, some of which I've shared with you here. I'll put that link to the FAQs that had those tips in the description below to help you guys. But that we're going to call that an episode. Like I said, I wanted to highlight the game. I know it's an older game, and I'm sorry about that. But hey, it's new to me, and so I thought it was an interesting game. It's been a time suck. It's gotten my attention, and it's, I've been playing it now for about 12 hours since yesterday. Played it for a couple hours last night. Woke up today, and I've been playing it all freaking day. So I do like it. I am enjoying it. Wanted to make sure you guys were at least aware of it. Leave a like for the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new or haven't yet. And again, most importantly, chime in the comments below. Let me know if you want me to continue this as a Let's Play series or not. If I don't hear anything, I'll assume you guys don't want to see it, and we'll move on and keep on keeping on. But hey, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for checking this out. Give the game a shot if you're looking for, something fun to play that, doesn't take a lot of focus or concentration, because it really doesn't. You can sit here and, just kind of, piddle along with it, but it is fast paced. It is not an easy game by any stretch. Certainly not as easy as it looks on the surface. But anyway, have a good one, guys, and we will talk to you later. Bye now.